So this is, I did a video a while ago when I had my Alienware laptop and I was doing my whole phone farm thing. This is still a thing, by the way. It's turned off at the moment because I've been doing some juggling of things. So it is turned off at the moment, but yeah, I've got a new setup now actually. I've had this particular laptop for a few weeks now, about 3 weeks now, but I finally got it sort of licked into shape, so got my chair, of course. So what I've done is I've got my keyboard here that I've had for ages. I'm actually kind of happy because, as you can see, one key is only blue, and all the rest are RGB. And that was RGB, like all the rest, but I spilled some pop on this, and I had to take it apart and just really try and dry it frantically, so it didn't corrode anything or damage anything. And luckily, because before I did that, all this stuff was all breaking, and it's now fine. It's been fine for a while, except that one, just in case anyone noticed it and was interested. But yeah, so I've had that keyboard for a while, and it's superb. It's a Logitech, can't remember which one it is. G513. Absolutely superb keyboard, would definitely recommend. There's a smaller one like this, which is just the same but without the keypad. Sometimes I kind of wish I got that one because desk space on my desk anyway is kind of limited. I've got my phone charging thing here, which I've just got, and it's got loads of cool ports and stuff in it as well, so I can plug my phone into TV or something, or that monitor, and then it makes my phone really big, which is kind of cool. Not that I'll use that often, but it's a cool little stand nonetheless. So I've got that. I've got my laptop on it's not specifically a laptop stand. I think it's for like books or something. I'm not sure. But it does the job, and I had it lying around, so I thought I might as well use it. This, of course, is full RGB as well. I've just recently... Normally I have it just on solid white, but I haven't changed it yet, because I've recently just installed let's have a look. This PC, a 2TB SSD, so that's good. That's 2TB Seagate Backup Plus drive is the one that's here, just here. And that is going straight into my laptop because I don't want that's not always going to be there. And then the other thing, which originally I used to have loads of wires coming out of here and it was messy and knocking stuff over. So now I've got this USB-C adapter that goes in. So I've got my mouse and keyboard in here. It's actually both goes into my keyboard, and then my mouse goes in here, which just makes it easier so I can pull it out. If I want to take, because I never want to take my keyboard with me, but on occasion I might want to take my mouse with me if I'm going to be using it for a while. If I'm going somewhere, because trackpad's only comfortable for so long. So that's why it's sort of like that. Instead of me having to faff around in here, which is awkward, I can just, and then that's easy. So it's got that. Then I've got a HDMI to DVI for this, because this doesn't have a HDMI port. So and I've got this sideways. At the moment I've just got Facebook on it, but it's really useful. Say I'm playing a game, say I'm playing Overwatch or something. It's the only game I've got installed at the moment because I've just installed this drive. But yeah, say I'm playing that and I want to listen to music at the same time, you can just have YouTube right there. And because it's like this, you can have like something that you would normally have landscape anyway at the top and at the bottom, so you can have like two landscape things because it's quite large. Like if you look at this, that's a little slimmer, but about the width of that. Like it's like if you had a 13-inch monitor, that's what it'd be like if you cut that in half. If you get what I mean, then you know what I mean? So it's almost like having 3 monitors, if you use that right. Or you can just have it as like a long stream like that, so if you're going to be scrolling through something, you can just scroll through it or whatever. I don't use Facebook a lot. I only really use it to sell stuff. But, I use eBay a lot. It's quite good for that as well. Anything that's sort of column-based, really good for that. I kind of had to have it portrait because... Again, my desk's quite narrow. You could make the argument I could move it across here. But if I move it across here, because where the leg is for the desk, I'm going to be cramped over here. And my leg is just going to... Because I like to be central on. So say that's over there. This is moved over. then my leg's just going to be cramped and it's going to make me miserable. So if I'm in the middle, a bit like this, and this, if you notice, is actually a little bit at an angle, then this is, I know it might not seem it in the view of the camera, but it's really just, you know, sort of perfect. And then I just swivel a little bit, and then I can see that, which is at an angle. You know, you have to make do with what you can. I mean, I would put monitors up here, except a bit limited on room, and also this wall is like hollow, so screwing stuff on there, I mean, that's a light thing, doesn't weigh much. But if I get a decent monitor, you know, I don't know how much, like that has only really got light. It looks like it's quite full, and it is, but most of the stuff on there is actually pretty light. Like there's Xbox games, and you know, it's just a disc and air that's inside them, so they're not actually that heavy. Like I don't know if you've ever tried to pick up like loads of DVDs, you can pick like 50 up, and it don't make any difference because they just don't weigh anything. So there's nothing in there. And in here, all there is Nerf darts. I don't really use. I've just accidentally clicked my screen. But yeah, I never use my Nerf thing anymore. But that's what that's full of. So it's all doesn't really weigh much up there. But anyway, yeah, I just thought. Oh, and I've also got in this. I've also got an Ethernet wire. This doesn't have an Ethernet port because they've tried to make it that thin. You know, being a gaming laptop, they've had to make some compromises, and one of the compromises is an Ethernet port. It's because this here is the Razer Blade 15 2018 Advanced model. If I had got the base model, I would have had an Ethernet port and it would have had a hard drive bay as well. But you get poorer graphics, and also this one has RGB keys, like individual. You can change individual ones. I believe as standard it does that. If you do the function key, that's like without setting anything up. But whereas if you get this base model, then it only does one colour. I mean, I know that at the moment it's only doing one colour across the whole board. But yeah, with the base model, you're stuck with that. Which I know it's not really a big deal, but it's kind of nice to have. Like when you're in games, it's really cool. Like in Overwatch, it does stuff automatically, so it'll change. Say you Winston, it'll change to white because his default character's white, or whatever. Or Reaper, it'll change to like dark red, and it's just little things like that that just make it fun. And also because it's a little thinner as well. I only really got this particular model. I was going to get a base model actually, because they were doing a sale on their website. I think it was like 1,400 quid, which I know is still a lot of money, but it was a lot cheaper than it used to be. It was like £1,800 before, so it's like 400 quid off. But no, I got this one on eBay for about £1,000. So I just thought I'd rather compromise on that and get like a, you know, this adapter cost me like 20 quid or something on eBay, you know, and then it does the job. And the Wi-Fi is pretty good anyway in my house, so it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, I'm just quite pleased with it because I've just sort of finished it off. So this adapter also has two USB-C ports, which you can't see, but I don't really have anything that needs that. The only thing I have is my phone, but I'm using the mains. I have one free plug on there because at the moment I've only got 7 devices running, so I have one free plug. So one plug is also unplugged because I sell MacBooks and stuff on the side sometimes. So this server is probably going to go at some point. It just takes up too much electricity, so the videos you've seen it in, it takes ages to start up, and it's just there's not really any need for it. So I'm probably just going to sell it or get rid of it, or I'll probably give it, where I work, I'll probably just give it to my boss because he'll get better use out of it. But it was fun. It was cheap enough, so it's not a big deal. And I think that's about it. I do have another laptop which I take to work sometimes. It's actually in here, actually. And this is an awesome laptop. When I was buying one, I was torn between either this one or the one that I've got now, the Razer Blade. And yeah, this is just the bee's knees. See, this is kind of the desk issue. Room, but there's just no room anywhere. But it's a Surface Book. And yeah, if you find one, if anyone who watches this, if you're thinking of actually getting a laptop and you find one of these on eBay cheap, like to do work on, recommend it because it's truly awesome. Why am I showing you my password? That's pretty bad. luckily, I actually spelt it wrong, and I'll probably change it after this anyway, because I'm actually thinking of changing my passwords for everything. I'll probably just blur it out as well, so that you can't see it. So yeah, that's what I bought, 2 terabyte SSD. Oh no, that one's not the one I bought. That one's the one that's ended. Anyway, it was similar enough, so it doesn't really matter. Got a bit of stuff on there. This is really cool. I mean, it's touchscreen as well, so so you want another tab or whatever. Job done. I've got the pen for it as well. You can get a pen that, so this cool thing. I am actually selling this because I don't need it anymore. I'll just move it. There you go. My hand's better. So if I do the whiteboard, and you can draw and stuff on it. It's kind of cool. And look, you can go, "Hi, YouTube." It's actually a lot better than that. I'm just very, very bad, and I mean very, very bad. Like some of the stuff my sister's done is actually amazing. So I'm going to pictures, and she's done like some of these. Like she likes Brendan Urie and stuff. I don't know. I don't even know who he is. But she did this weird thing. She decided to draw that. I don't even know what that is. Some gremlin or something. And then she watched the movie It, so she thought she'd do the It eyes and stuff. She really gets into this sort of thing. She really likes that. I don't know what that is. Just some mountains or whatever. You get the idea. And then the pen you can just magnetise it to the side. Well, what's really the fancy bit is actually, I forgot about the backline. You can do backline. I usually have it turned off just because I like saving the battery. But the battery's not really an issue on here either. It's only got 50%. It says it's got 2 hours, 23 minutes. I don't really know why it's saying that, because it usually lasts for about 11 hours. When you charge it to 100%, I usually get about 11 hours out of this. So that'll probably change soon. I think it's because it's just started. It's just predicting it, but whatever. Even if it was 2 hours and 23 minutes, or whatever, if you had all of it, then you've got like 5 hours, which is like an average battery anyway. But nah, it does. I'm pretty sure it's misreporting because it usually lasts a lot longer. But if you push this button, and then it does this cool thing. How cool is that? And look, now it's in half. Pretty cool. So yeah, and it's got decent stuff in it as well. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't want that. So this has got, what's this got in it? It's got an i5-6300U, 8 gig of RAM, and it's got a 128 gig SSD. Not mass as a storage, but it's not too bad. The things I absolutely love about this is its insane battery life. I'm guaranteed that's a mystery part because it lasts a lot longer than that. Why is my camera being like that? All blurry and stuff. But yeah, so the battery life's insane. I love the keyboard because the way it folds, because it folds like, and I've just almost chucked it on. See, I forgot about having no desk room. But because of the way it folds, so it folds like that, and it's supposed to do that. I haven't broke it or anything. Because it folds like that, you've got like enough clearance to have a decent keyboard. Like on this, because it folds flat, the keys are really shallow, whereas this you get really good presses on it. I also love the mouse pad on here. I like the feel of the mouse pad on here, but unfortunately, I don't know, it depends how you are. Me personally, they've made it too big. I actually don't mind. I don't like a titchy mouse pad, but the mouse pad on here is perfect. Is just big enough, and that one's actually awkward because they've made it quite large, and then they've also put it directly central. And I'm usually used to them being a bit to the left. I'm not used to it. And sometimes my palm goes on the bit, and it makes it awkward. I'm used to it now, but it does take a bit of getting used to. And also the keyboard things are just in weird places. Like the arrow keys here, and then the shifts to the right of them, which is just kind of odd. And the whole layout's like a bit squarer. It's like it's not. I don't know. It's just a bit changed. It's just different. It just takes getting used to. But usually I use this keyboard anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, this has got a pretty good processor. It's got an i7 87 something or other. So I should just have a look just to make sure I'm not bollock. It's an i7 8750H, 16GB of RAM. Which in future I can always put 32GB in if I want to. If for some reason 16GB becomes not enough. At the moment it's perfectly adequate. What's not perfectly adequate is the focusing on my phone. I don't know why. I never really record videos on it. But yeah, it's because I've got an Honor 10. It does like AI stuff and it just pisses you around. I wish it'd just stay the same all the time. So yeah, hopefully people like this sort of setup. I think it's quite sort of clean and minimal. You know, if I want to just take my laptop, just whip out because most of the time I'm not going to have the hard drive in, the external hard drive. So most of the time it's just pop out the USB-C adapter and then just pop out the charger if I've got it in, and then that's it. And this gets 6 hours of battery life easily. So usually I don't need to check my charger. If I'm playing games, it'll only have about 2.5 hours. But if I'm just doing regular stuff on it, yeah, it'll last 6 hours. Not a problem. So yeah, it's got a good battery life as well. I mean, 6 hours is generally enough for most of your day. You know, I do an 8-hour day. So if I was going to use it all day, which I won't because I've got a PC at work, but you know. Anyway, I think that'll conclude that. I just wanted to share that. I was just quite excited about it, so I just thought I just felt I had to share it. So yeah, thank you.